This video is about sine and cosine, which are trigonometric ratios. Sine is the ratio of the opposite leg over the hypotenuse, and the opposite leg is in red, and the hypotenuse is in blue on this first example problem. And so the sine of angle B is the measure of segment AC over the measure of segment BC. And then if you were to find the sine of angle C, then you would have the ratio of segment AB over the segment BC. And that's how you would do sine ratios. For the first example, we're going to solve for x, which is the measurement df. In order to do that, you're going to set up your equation as sine, and then the angle 36, which is the measure of d, equals 48, which is the opposite leg, over x, which is the hypotenuse. You then have x times sine times 36 equals 48, and then you can solve it for x equals 48 divided by sine 36 for an answer of 81.7. So the measure of df is 81.7. For the next example, you're going to find the measure of angle x, and to do that you have to set up the equation sine c equals 45 over 60. And in order to do that, you need to use the inverse of sine because you're finding an angle measure. So you would do sine, the inverse of sine, times 45 divided by 60 equals x. And so when you solve for that, you get that x equals 48.6. And so the measure of angle C is 48.6.
So now we're focusing on cosine, and cosine is the ratio adjacent over hypotenuse. As you can see in the first example, the cosine of C is CA over BC. A second example, the cosine of angle B would be the ratio 48 over 80, and when you reduce that down, the cosine of angle B is 3/5. So now let's move on to some examples. Example 1, we're going to be solving for y, and y cosine 30 equals 36 over y. And now we're going to multiply y on each side. We'll get with y cosine 30 equals 36. And now we're going to divide the cosine 30 over on each side. So y equals 36 over cosine 30. And we'll end up with y equals 1.2. So now example 2, we're going to solve for x, but x is going to be an angle measure. So we're going to need to use the inverse of cosine. So it's going to be cosine x equals 24 over 42. And we'll multiply cosine on each side. So then we'll get x equals 55.15, and you can round that to x equals 55.2.